mexicanos, no hay quien las dé como ellos. Los gitanos sí tienen sabor, y los gitanos sí tienen sabor. Cuando cantan sus canciones y tocan palmadas a la madre patria, ay, los gitanos le dan el sabor.
Here too, and it's just not big enough.
Wait.
Okay,
hold-
ready? Here we
Wait.
go.
Maybe wait. Maybe
No, go take it back to that. Yeah, there we go. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Maybe I can do this. Can I zoom on my Google?
There isn't a way that I can make it.
I can zoom in on my end. I can zoom in on my whole.
Look, is that better?
What you just do? I just took it up to.
No, I just made it bigger. Go ahead. Now you can see it. Now go.
Okay. Disculpe, señorita, entiende inglés.
No, señor, no entiendo.
Hablo español un poco.
¿Es usted norteamericano?
Sí, señorita. Yeah, you see that? I put some
Number because
actually
you
in
know
there. Sí, señorita. Was it worth the wait?
it wasn't. No, it was. Just kidding. All right, so essentially this was a conversation where this dude was like, excuse me, miss, right? Excuse me, do you understand English? And I was like, no, I don't understand. He was like, you speak Spanish? He said, I speak Spanish a little bit. You're like, oh, are you from America? And he was like, yeah, I am. That wasn't a really rich conversation, but it was.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna do lesson 2, the same thing.
50 Cent should have came on when I said I speak Spanish a little bit, and you could have danced. That should have came on.
So now, but see, do you see how we keep learning from the
yes.
from little snafus? Now I know I do have a whole touchscreen computer. Now I know how to make it.
See that? Level up. Yeah.
All right, so this is another.
You was just gonna make me squint. You was gonna make me like,
well,
and blame it on me.
listen, and now I know that I can do that. Okay, so this is a conversation from lesson 2. We're gonna take this as long as we can take it. We're at 7. We have about 10 more minutes for this portion, so we might get through lesson 3 or 4. I don't know. We're just gonna keep playing, and this is fun. And so I would like for more of us to be able to do this. This is another reason. If you join, it is free to join. Patreon.com/empty. You come in from, that in the 7:00 hour, this is when we're going to be practicing Spanish. I would like for more of us, like right now it's me and D-Ray. But if there are 5 people who want to join, you'll get the link and you can be on, and you too. What I'd like it to be equal number male people and female people, but whatever's here, we just keep practicing. You feel what I'm saying? And it gets fun, and you go, okay, let me practice my Spanish, and then you go back so that you can, pronounce it correctly and stuff. It's fun. It's fun. We got this. This is only our 2nd week, y'all. All right. So on this one, I go first and you go second. So we're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to play the thing, and then I'm going to repeat what is said, and then I'm going to do it for D-Ray, and we're going to keep going, and then we'll do that twice, and then we'll go back and do it without it. I'm trying to think of what I feel like I'm just yelling for no reason. So I don't know maybe we're walking down the street in Cuba and I'm trying to get his attention. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Señor.
Señor.
Sí, señorita.
Sí, señorita.
Disculpe, ¿habla español?
Disculpe, ¿habla español?
No, no hablo español.
No hablo español.
¿Entiende un poco?
¿Entiende un poco? Hold on.
Sí, Un poco.
Sí, un poco.
¿Habla inglés?
Habla inglés?
Sí, hablo inglés.
Sí, hablo inglés.
Okay, so for my line, I'm calling you. I'm like, sir, sir. And you go what?
I go, yes, miss.
Yeah, basically he's like, yes.
You yelling at me? Why you yelling at me, miss? What, do you know me, miss? Yelling
Right.
all at me.
That's right. That's right. That C senorita is layered. He's like, what do you want,
Yes,
baby?
miss.
What
See,
do you want? Why are you bothering me?
Come on, you a little lady with a big mouth.
Listen. And then I'm going, excuse me, do you understand Spanish? No, do you speak Spanish? Disculpe, excuse me. Habla español means do you speak Spanish? And then he goes, what?
And I go, oh, like no, I don't speak Spanish. Right? This time I think I feel like she startled me at first, right? I'm sorry. I was like, ho. But now she came back and just, asked me.
Now I'm trying to be calm. And he's like, no, I don't even want to talk to you.
Calm down. Yeah, she calmed down. So we cool.
And then I go, do you understand a little? Like, do you understand a little? Not even a little bit? Then what do you say? And then what do you say?
Yes. I understand a little bit. It definitely, not a lot, baby girl, but a little bit.
A little bit. And then I said, do you speak English? And then you said what?
Say yes, I speak English.
Okay. So now we're going to do this one more time. I don't feel like we need to play because this is not hard languaging. I feel like we can just do the back and forth. You ready? Do you have it? We can do it if you want. Do you need to hear it again?
No.
Okay. Señor.
Sí, señorita.
Disculpe, ¿habla español?
No, hablo español.
¿Entiende un poco?
Sí, un poco.
¿Habla inglés?
Sí, hablo inglés.
Okay, yes, honey. This is getting more like a theater. I love it. I love it.
This is pretty cool. Un poco.
Where did we go here? Did it move or something? Oh, there's more.
Oh.
There's more.
We still rolling.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's start over. I didn't know there was more. Hold on. Hold your mule. There's more. It goes down. Okay.
Oh,
So
easy.
let's start over. Are ready? Señor.
Sí, señorita.
Disculpe, ¿habla español?
No hablo español.
¿Entiende un poco?
Sí, un poco.
¿Habla inglés?
Sí, hablo inglés.
Ah, usted es norteamericano.
Where am I?
On the back.
Sí.
So essentially the rest of it just when I asked if he speaks English and he was like, yes, I speak English. He's like, oh, so you from America.
And I've always been like, sí.
Okay. Hello, Star People. Welcome to Club Star People Sunday dinner. I'm here. I got a little attitude today, and I feel like can't be seen properly, but that's all right. I'm here for Sunday dinner. Today, we are making mofongo. I'm making vegan mofongo. And I'm going to tell you the history. First of all, hi. That was what you were just watching. If you were watching it, was what we did on Wednesday for Club Star People and for our Spanish club meeting. And for our Spanish club meeting, we practiced Spanish. And the program we were using is Pimsleur. So you got to get like a little tour of the Pimsleur program. This is not an ad. I do not work for Pimsleur. I do not any of the things that I know in this day and age when people start naming brands.
that they're using without actually having any relationship with that brand. It's, I don't know, leaving money on the table, as it were. What this is, it feels like this is off. But I'm not worried about that. I want us all to learn Spanish, and however way we get it that way, that's what we gonna do. Pimsleur will come around. So saying all of that to say, welcome to Sunday dinner, our very second Sunday dinner. Right now, I have 4 green plantains that I am trying to get ahead of. I was trying to get as much done because I don't want this to take forever. And I don't know how it's going to take because I did not practice this recipe beforehand. I decided I was going to wing it. That because I don't know what it's supposed to taste like anyway, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to turn this like this because this is getting weird. And we'll see how it goes. So for those of you who have no idea who I am, my name is Envy McKee. I am a 20-year broadcaster. I host the Envy McKee Show on WRD on Friday nights from 7 to 10 p.m. It's called, I said the Envy McKee Show, aka Star Folk University, the only on-air school for modern mystics. I think this plantain's got a little bit extra going on than what I want. No, it just needs to be cut. And what is Club Star People? Club Star People is a club for grown people of a variety of melanations who would like, primarily focusing on the African diaspora, who would not only like to know what Bad Bunny is saying for the Super Bowl, but who generally would like to stay and be fit, would like to learn language, and would like to travel the world together. That's what Club Star People is. And for right now, we are virtual. That's why I'm broadcasting live on all the things, is I'm looking for our people. Spirit said, broadcast wide so that the people, your people, will find you. And then once we have our designated number of members, which Spirit is telling me is 100, we'll take it different. If you would like to join Club Star People, you can do so at patreon.com/EnvyMcKee. It is free to join. There are tiers that you can, we're calling them club dues, whatever your life is looking like, but I did not want it to be cost prohibitive. This is about progress, not perfection. So one of the things that we do is we work out like 4 or 5 days a week. You find a program and you work out and you dedicate yourself. Because why? When we're traveling the world, we want to look and feel our best. And as we get in our big ages, we understand that big aged people can learn new things and can be in the best shape of our lives and can do all the things. So we are keeping ourselves fit. You have a reason now to keep yourself fit. What else can we do in our big ages? We can learn new things. We can learn language, world language. And what else can we do in our big age? We can be in community with each other. So last Sunday dinner, we did papas rellenas. And this week we are doing mofongo. And I think I'm going to do a little hearts of palm, like a stewed hearts of palm situation. This recipe for vegan mofongo calls for 4 green plantain, 4 large garlic cloves, a teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoon of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of vegetable broth. I have a mortar. It calls for a mortar because you're supposed to mash it. And this is not the right size, but that's what we're going to use. And vegetable oil to fry the plantain. I am not actually going to fry the plantain because I've been eating too much fried food. and I found a variation that you can boil the plantain. In a minute, I'm gonna go get the paper so I can tell you about the history of mofongo. It's a Puerto Rican dish, and so what I have done. Let me see if you want to see. What I have done is I put the vegetable broth in my pot, and I put my plantain in my pot, and I am going to boil the plantain until it is soft. And for somebody that does not know what she is doing, and I made this change really last minute because I found that there was a variation. I feel like I'm really stretching. I'm really stretching. This is not. I'm really stretching, but I'm gonna go get the paper. Hold your mule. I'm gonna play some music. Hold your mule. No, I'm not gonna play music because this is not. I'm not in my regular spot. I'm in the kitchen. So mofongo is a dish from Puerto Rico with plantains as its main ingredient. Plantains are picked green, cut into pieces, and typically fried. In more modern versions, it's typically fried in more modern versions, but can be boiled in broth or roasted, then mashed with salt, garlic, pork, broth, and cooking oil. Olive oil, butter, and lard is typically used. In a wooden pigeon, that's the French, mortar and pestle. Cassava and sweet potato are boiled, then roasted or flash fried. Plantains can be made in this method or roasted before flash frying. The goal is to produce a tight ball of mashed plantains that will absorb the attending condiments and have either pork. I said crack, didn't I? Will have pork cracklings or bits of bacon inside. It is traditionally served with fried meat and chicken broth soup, which this is giving fufu. This is giving fufu and soup. Particular flavors result from variations that include vegetables, chicken, shrimp, beef, or octopus packed inside or around the plantain orb. Okay. Now, as for the origin and the history, mofongo is a traditional Puerto Rico dish combining influences from the cultures of the Greater Antilles Island, descending from Spain, West Africa, and Taino, where Puerto Rico gets most of its culture and roots. These cultural influences also resulted in the creation of mofongo's distantly related but notably different West African dish fufu. But mofongo's unique flavor comes from a combination of West African flavors and the Taino Indian culinary tradition of mashing root vegetables mixed with major Spanish culinary influences. Fufu is a sticky dough pulled and eaten by hand, is made from various starchy vegetables. Fufu was brought to the Caribbean by Africans in the Spanish New Colonies. Each country developed their own unique dish born from their cultural origins and influences that were very different from the original native dish, such as Trinidad and Tobago has bong plantain, also known as tum tum. Cuba, fufu de platano, and machu quijo. Dominican Republic, mango. Haiti, tom tom. And Puerto Rico, mofongo. This is also most likely includes Colombia, Ecuador, Costa Rica, the Amazon region, and Peru. The earliest known written recipes for mofongo appeared in Puerto Rico's first cookbook, El Cochinero Puerto Rico. Oh Lord, have mercy. El Chiquinero Puerto Riqueno o Formulario in 1859. Now, y'all can laugh at me for sounding these things out and sounding bad, but that is the whole point of Spanish Club. Like, we're in our second week, and I suck at Spanish. Now, if this were French, I would be sounding things out because I've been practicing French longer. I am learning the accent of Spanish, my mouth is not used to forming these words. So some things I struggle with. Some of the earlier things I do okay, but that's the whole point. And by the time we finish this 5-month Pimsleur program, there will be night and day. And I will be sure to have a clip of this video and me sounding ridiculous trying to sound out these words from week 2 and week 32, so you can tell the difference. That's what this is about. I am willing to put my ego to the floor to let you know that people in our big ages can learn new things and we can be dope at it eventually at some point. So anyway, Funche criollo is made from green or yellow plantains boiled with taro or yams, mashed and eaten with sesame broth. Okay. Sesame broth soup or sauce made from garlic, lard, tomato sauce, onions, and sofrito. I'm going to try and make a sofrito as well. I have the green peppers and I have cilantro, but cilantro is not what they want, and what I have are different things. Chicharron, I don't know what that is, and then formed into a ball. So I'm gonna read some more of this later. I got some more insight about what mofongo is and all the different variations, just so we can learn something new, because that's what this is about. So right now, my green plantain, I peeled, and what's interesting is that green plantain is much easier to peel than yellow plantain. My God, it's today. So what I did was I put the plantain in this broth, and I'm going to boil it. I'm going to continue to boil it until it is soft, which is, I feel like it's going to take forever. So I'm going to turn this up. And I think, yeah, I'm going to let this do what it's going to do. So if you have any questions, I think I have my phone backwards, but it's all right. Oh, okay. Look at y'all. Hey, Les, how you doing? Hey, Bernard, how you doing? Thank you for being here. I can't join the chat right now because I'm doing something. Here we go. So I'm going to let this do what it's going to do. I feel like playing a little Bad Bunny. So I'll be right back. We're black. It's very steamy in here. So I think the plantains are almost done, which it didn't take as long as I thought I did. We didn't even get through a whole Bad Bunny song. That's cool. Yeah, I think these are done. So I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to move this over here. So the next, all right, you can calm down, sir. I'm going to move. I think I'm going to move this over here. So while that is, I'm really clear that I have my camera upside down, but you're going to be okay. So the next part of this is we're supposed to mash the plantain in this mortar. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold your mule. So we're supposed to, the instructions say mash half of the garlic with half of the salt and oil in the mortar. Okay. So it wants 4 large garlic cloves. See, I didn't get as prepared as I could have been for this, because I didn't test this recipe. So this this is gonna be interesting. So I have my garlic clove. So it's 2 garlic cloves. They want me to mash. Anyone out there who has made mofongo before, I welcome your insight in this. I'm essentially making Puerto Rican fufu. I didn't even realize that that's what this was, but it makes sense. And I don't have a soup prepared. Did you know fufu and soup? That's Liberian, I believe. So I'm going to chop this garlic up. Let's chop this garlic up, paying some respects to the ancestors who did not have a food processor, because my first thought just now was, I can put this in a food processor. I can put this in a blender. But I'm getting salt. But the whole point is to learn about culture. How much salt did they want? 1 teaspoon is half. That's about a half teaspoon. I'm measuring with my spirit. So we're going to, and my pestle broke. When I tell you, this week has been so interesting. And actually, we do my show, the Anthony McKee Show, on Friday nights, 7 to 10 p.m. on WRD. And our shift prompt for this month is the art of being answered prayer. And we have been exploring all the ways that answered prayer shows up in our lives, which is essentially our lives are our spiritual practice. And if you want to learn more about the Anthony McKee Show, aka Starfolk University, the only Sonic school for modern mystics, you can go to anthonymckeeshow.com. There's insight there. The website is being updated, so everything ain't together, but it's kind of cute. And if you want to learn more about Club Star People, you can go to there is a website that's coming. She's not there, so do not go to clubstarpeople.com yet, because she's not ready yet. But in the future, you can. Soon and very soon. But if you want to learn more about Club Star People and why I'm here mashing garlic and salt in a mortar and half of a pestle, you can go to patreon.com/MVMcKee. And you can learn more about Club Star People there. I told you I'm in a crap mood today. And I kind of want to tell you why, but I kind of don't, because I still need to process, and I am a whole adult. I don't need to. But so I'm here. This should make me feel better, because I'm mashing this garlic in this pestle. But because I'm not holding the whole thing. My hand is awkward, so it's going to be very interesting. So I don't know how mashed does this have to be. Well, it's mashed. Add half of the plantain and half. Oh, I didn't put any oil in this. Because I didn't use oil. I'm just gonna put a zhuzh. I just put a zhuzh. I didn't use oil. Oh, okay. That consistency. That makes sense. And there is no way on Goddess Green Earth that I'm going to be able to fit half of these plantain in this mortar. I can fit I don't think I'm going to be making a lot of this. I think I'm going to make a little bit. I don't know why I did 4. We could have got this done. Yeah, this is too many. You can go back in there. And you can go back in there too. Okay, so yeah, this isn't gonna work. Not with this thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mash it a little to get it started. Our ancestors, when I tell you they were brilliant people that found ways to do things with the things that they had. I feel like I need a stronger fork. So this is humbling. But I also like with the papas rellenas, I practiced it before so I could feel confident doing it. And I was like, is that fair? Because this is not a cooking show. This is a try and explore new things experience that I'm inviting you along for. So I don't want it to feel too polished because that defeats the whole purpose. All right, so I mashed half of the garlic, and this is going to be very garlicky because I could not fit but 4 things of plantain in here. And what am I going to do with it when it's mashed? I was talking about some half vegetable broth. What do you mean? Oh my goodness. Because I did not do it the way the recipe said for me to do it, this is why I am struggling. Because I am cowboy cooking on the fly. So I added some, I still have not gotten the right tripod, but it's coming. All right, I mashed the plantain a little bit so that so it's not falling out of this container, the mortar. This is still not helping. Oh my God, this is a disaster. Okay. Ooh, it is salty, but it's good. Oh my goodness, that's good. I wonder if I can just put it in a bigger bowl and mush it in a bigger bowl. I'm gonna try. I got this. I got this bowl. Ooh, that is very seasoned, and it's really just salt and garlic. My gosh, my goddess, it is delicious. Okay, all right, I see you. I'm going to see if I can use this bowl as a mortar so that this is not flailing around without breaking my bowl in the process. Maybe this should be mashed. Maybe this should have cooked a little more because it's chunky. I like them thick. I like them chunky. Yeah, I don't know if these are cooked enough. Please do not break this bowl. Please do not break this bowl. I thought it was supposed to be fork tender. But plantain are not like potatoes, as we are well aware. Plantain do what plantain want to do. Plantain does not care about you and your plans for your meals. And I think that's why they probably at first did it a different way. And they were like, plantain is fickle. Plantain does not care about your fork. You need something stronger. And that's how the mortar and pestle was created. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to match the way it's supposed to. I think what I'm going to do, child, this is going to take forever. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a little back in the mortar and pestle because I think I just want to do too much. And I'm just going to mash it. That's delicious. I'm going to wipe my finger off, even though I'm the only one that's eating this. I thought I was going to be making a simple sofrito to go with this because the traditional, as we mentioned, the traditional mofongo is made with pork cracklings. And I'm not going to be doing that. I did get some hearts of palm because I thought I was going to make like a stewed something that required the sofrito that I was going to make. But the way that this part is going, I don't think so. We're going to stick to the waterfalls that we're used to. And I'm not used to any of these. Okay, so this is going to have to be because I feel like this is not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more broth to these plantain, and I'm going to put them back on to boil because this is taking forever. And even as some of it is mashed, it's still not mashing because what? Plantain doesn't care about your plants. Plantain doesn't care. And I think also because I'm not working with I picked the wrong recipe for this week. If I had practiced this beforehand, I would have known that I need a proper mortar and pestle to do this with. Because this little spice grinder thing is like, it's really looking at me like, you can try it. Okay, so I'm going to continue to mash this. And let's learn, I need to rest my hand. Okay, so what is the origin and history? I think I said that already. Yeah, we did do that. We did that already. So let's talk about the etymology. Central African ethnic groups that populated Puerto Rico used the technology of a mallet, to mash large amounts of starchy foods. They used the thing. They used the early version of the chicleta. I said that right. To mash large amounts of starchy food. The mash was then softened with liquids. The word mofongo stems from the Kikongo term mefuenge, which means a great amount of anything at all. Mefuenge? Oh, mefuenge. That's cool. So mofongo stems from the Kikongo term, mefuenge. That's cool. I knew it was African. Mofongo evolved from three cultural influences: Spanish, Taino, and African within the Puerto Rican populace. Mofongo is different from fufu, but uses the same African method with vegetables available in the Caribbean. Plantains are most often used, but other starchy roots native to the island used by Tainos can be also used. Puerto Ricans have an obsession with fried food, known collectively as cuchifrito in New York City. Spanish ingredients such as pork, garlic, broth, and olive oil are commonly used together in Puerto Rican cuisine and are found in staple dishes such as arroz con gandules, alcaparrilla, pasteles, habichuelas, recaito, arroz junta, among others. Broth is often made with chicken and sofrito. Sofrito is made with Spanish and Taino fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Cool. Pork is a major component in most traditional offerings and the preparations of Puerto Rican cuisine. The only other Caribbean island where pork is a major component is Cuba. The use of lard, pork scraps, and inner parts has its influence from the harsh diet and treatment of African people in Puerto Rico. This led to dishes on the island such as mofongo, gabinga, and mondongo. Mofongo combines the African tradition of fufu with limited ingredients given to the enslaved people: plantains, lard, and pork scraps. That is really cool. I'm not going to turn my nose up anymore because this is a survival dish that has lasted the test of time. This is a part of our history and our heritage where enslaved people from Africa, our ancestors, some of them, they came over here from all these different countries in Africa, all these different tribes, and they found whatever was on the island of Puerto Rico, and they were like, oh, I can make fufu with this. Oh, I can make da-da-da with this. That's cool. That's very cool. So now I'm going to mash my plantain with a little less energy, with a little less attitude. Because there are people in my line who ended up in the Bahamas, on my dad's side, who did something similar. And that's cool. So if you're noticing in the background, I decided that I'm going to boil these plantain a little longer because I've been mashing these for a little minute, and it doesn't look like they're getting any less chunky. I will suffer through. I think they'll be done in a little minute. I don't think they're going to be that. I just want them to be evenly mashable. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about using a potato masher, but they still have to be. They're fork tender, but like I said, plantain don't act like potatoes, honey. Plantain will keep its lumps and its bumps. Plantain does not care about you and your plants. So this is getting creamier. I don't know how smooth it's supposed to be. And I don't have a picture. All right, so this is much better. Now I'm going to add a little more. See, this is what mine look like in here. You see, they're chunky. They look like, it looks like corn. This is not corn. So I'm gonna add a little bit more to my mortar and pestle. And, oh, well, I may not know what it looks like, but I know what fufu looks like, and fufu is very, very smooth. So I'm not even close. Although I will say, I don't know all the people on the internet. I don't know all of y'all. But when I was looking up vegan recipes for mofongo, I did find a version that had, this is really good. And it's literally just garlic, oil, and salt. There are no other seasonings in it. And it's very good. My goodness. But I don't remember the time I had fufu, and this is no shade. This is no shade. I'm saying it again. This is no shade. I don't remember fufu really having any like specific flavor. It's like the whole point of the fufu. I need to put some more water in this. Please do not anybody come for me. I remember fufu being like a blank slate for the soup or for whatever the stew was. I don't remember fufu being seasoned like this. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think I would remember. I went to an African birthday party many moons ago. It was like a sit-down dinner, and I'd never heard about fufu. I had a girlfriend in my my earlier years that was Liberian, and she always talked about fufu and soup, and I was just like, what is this? What is this fufu? What is this fufu? And I'd never had it. And when I finally went to this sit down dinner, they had all this stew, and I don't eat meat, so I had to just have the fufu. So they served it in this little plastic wrap, because I'm saying it's a sit down dinner, but it was also serve yourself, whatever it is. I'm not saying this right. It's sounding weird the more I talk. So I was at a dinner. They served fufu. It came in plastic wrap to keep it moist and together. And I was very interested in trying it. So I got one, and I tasted it. It just didn't really have any flavor. And the whole point was you're supposed to use it like some people would, you use it to scoop your stew. You take your fufu, you go like that, and then you scoop your stew, and then you go like that. I did that without the stew. Anyway, so if this mofongo is supposed to be like that, it's scoopable. I'm not there. I'm adding a little bit more. We're only here till 7, and I already feel like, not 7, we're here till 8. I already feel like it's going to take all the time. Just to get this part going. So how are you doing? How is your life going? You can let me know in the chat. Have you ever had mofongo before? Have you ever had fufu before? Have you ever got on a live to make something you've never made before and do it all wrong? Have you ever done that? This is almost done. I'm not even gonna say it. Some of y'all are nasty. Getting a steam on my face. All right, it's smoother than it was, but it still has the chunks. And I can just see these women, because I've seen even in Brazil and in Angola, I have seen the women who have that big bowl. It's that big wooden bowl, and they make their fufu essentially, and they have a big paddle thing, and they do the stirring around, and a lot of them are sitting in squat, and they have the bowl between their feet, and they're sitting in squat, and they're just grinding it and grinding and grinding and grinding, and they stir it and stir it and stir it and stir it and stir it. I don't have that. But just my little mortar and pestle is giving me a run for my money. We're not, when, what's so interesting to me? You know how when people say, I am not my ancestors? You know how when people say that nonsense out of their whole face holes? I'm here to say, yes, you are correct. You are not. Because we would not, the way we have been spoilt, and I said that correctly, spoilt, and on purpose, and rightly so. I mean, our ancestors went through a lot. Our generation did not need to go through that, so we didn't need to go through that. But some folks' energy around this idea that our ancestors were somehow weak or something because they protested things in the way that they did. I don't think people really and truly understand how much training went into doing a Montgomery bus boycott. How much training to not jack somebody upside the head it took to be able to do lunch counter sit-ins. They trained. That was like Hunger Games levels. They trained. They got ready. so they could turn the other cheek for the optics. They did that for the optics, because just like what's going on right now, the optics look crazy because you have all these, the world is on fire from one idea, and you have to juxtapose that with furries. I think these are done. So the optics look crazy when you say Portland is on fire and there's like a bunch of inflatable frogs. So that's today, but back in the day they didn't have inflatable frogs. So the way to move the needle was not to do what the opposition was doing. It was to do the opposite. If they were being violent, you got to be shown not being violent. And I know it sounds crazy, but that took training, y'all, because our ancestors would have beat the brakes off of some of these people. And they would have deserved it. How about that? All right, so this is the starch and the plantain have made a little sauce. I know I am fudging this all the way up, and y'all can cuss me out. This was my first time doing it. I'm going to use I'm really looking forward to going to Puerto Rico and getting to try someone who knows what they're doing version of mofongo. And I'm looking forward to going to the Dominican Republic and Cuba to learn. Well, you know what? I could just leave this in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mash this with the potato masher. See if it gets easier. Because I'm not doing well with the pestle, mortar and pestle. I'm not doing well. So I'm going to start this with this. I don't know how smooth I'll get it with this. But we gonna try. Worst case scenario, I'm putting this in the food processor. So it just goes to show you, just because a recipe is simple does not mean it's easy. Put that on your plate. All right, this is doing the same. It's giving the same energy. So what I've done, you see, what I've done is I put my boiled plantain in this pot, and I am now mashing it with my potato masher. I told you last week, this is my grandmother's pot, so don't make fun of it. This is my grandmother's pot. My grandmother died in 2010. I still got her pot. And this pot is older than me. It's probably older than my mother. So I'm keeping my pot, and you can make fun of me if you want. Okay. So I'm just going to keep mashing. I think I'm going to add some. Oh, this. Look at this texture. And look at this texture. Hold on. Hold your mule. They're about the same in half the time, in a quarter of the time, in a fraction, in a 16th of the time. So we're trying to get this to be, I'm putting this in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mash the rest of the garlic in this pestle. I'm doing this, I know I'm doing this incorrectly, but the point now is to get it done. All right, so I need 2 more garlic cloves. Ugh. more garlic cloves. And I'm going to put the 2 more garlic cloves, a little bit more oil and salt. And I'm going to, come on, Becky. Put that in there. I'm going to cut this up a little bit. So what can I serve this with? Because I don't foresee that I'm making anything else. Because this, and I feel like this is something that you make the day before. That's what I feel like. I feel like you make this the day before. But would you though? Would you want it to be? I don't know. But this is time consuming. And so that's also, it's a beautiful thing to learn on the spot how involved these dishes are. Put my salt in there. Get some of this oil. I'm gonna put some of this oil in there. I'm gonna mash this up. I did good with the garlic in this thing, kind of. But I'm going to look into finding one of the bigger ones because I have a feeling as we get deeper into understanding the culture and learning about the culture and learning about the dishes that they prepared, I have a feeling I'm going to be using some of the more traditional apparatuses that they use. Cooking utensils, I think that's a better way to phrase it. And I would like to be in the mind. I would like to be in the vibe of what was happening at the time. Why not? We're learning something new. We put ourselves in other people's shoes, and that's how we learn how to have empathy and compassion, and how we learn how to not say dumb stuff. Like, I am not my ancestors. Oh, you wouldn't be here without them. Huh. Anyway, so what I like about doing the garlic in this is that the garlic gets a really creamy consistency. I really like that. I don't have any more broth, so I'm going to. I used all of it to boil it, and this is what's interesting. These plantains in this broth ate up all of the broth. Like, it's gout. And potatoes don't do that. Potatoes leave the broth in there. Not these. These plantains were like, oh, good. Delicious. Thank you. Feed me, Seymour. So I added some more liquid in here. And maybe that's why the lady said to fry it. If I had just fried it like the recipe said to do, I probably wouldn't be having these problems. But you win some, you learn some. So now it's starting to get this creamy consistency, but because it's not mortar and pestle, I wonder if I put it in the blender, if it will make it stodgy. But I feel like the consistency is supposed to be more like, I need to look at this picture. Maybe I just want it to be a certain consistency because I'm thinking of fufu. It's really just mashed. Because the idea is you put it in a like a mound, and this is very not moundable. Yeah, I think I made a mess out of this. I think I made porridge. Here I go, adding too much liquid. But it is starting to mash. Let me taste it. That was really delicious. Oh my God. That garlic is right there. Very garlicky. And I didn't put that much salt in there, but it's seasoned perfectly. My goodness. But how would you use this to eat? This has way too many chunks. And so I understand why the mortar and pestle is important. But I'm going to see if maybe I put a little bit. It would taste a little bit like mashed potatoes. I'm going to see if I can get this mashed in here. I'm going to keep trying to get it smooth. I got it smooth enough with the masher. It's very strong on garlic. I used 4 garlic cloves and I ground them up really good. And it's very garlicky. I can see how this would, oh, you can't even see me. I can see how this would taste good with like pork. Crunchy, like bacon, crunchy. I can see it. It tastes good with what else could I eat this with? Oh, it's starting to get better. I feel like I'm in home ec doing food experiment. Maybe that's what this should be called, home ec. Sunday dinner, home ec. Maybe because it's Starfolk University. Maybe this is home ec. And Wednesday's Spanish club. Sunday's home ec. Because that's what this feels like. I'm not very successful in getting all these little chunks. I'm gonna get a new, what is it called? Pastages. I'm gonna get a new John, say it Philly style, so I can do this properly. I don't know what I was thinking about. I'm one of those people where I don't go out and buy new things until I know there's nothing that I have in my kitchen or whatever that I can use to do the same thing. And this is one of those things where I overshot. I call it cowboy cooking, where, oh, this is what the ingredients says? Okay. Well, what do I have that's like that? It works out most of the time. Like I said, you win some, you learn some. You cannot make mofongo with a little ass mortar and pestle. You cannot. But it'll get close, because I feel like this is close. But it looks like porridge, and I feel like it's not supposed to look like porridge. And it doesn't look like fufu at all. Fufu has a strong, like it's like a dough. This isn't even giving you dough. And you would think from all the starch that it's that it let off, this would but these chunks. All right, so this isn't getting smooth. Now the next option that I can do is to put it in the blender, which I'm afraid to do because I'm afraid it's going to be soggy. But my hands, this mortar, I keep saying it wrong, this pestle and mortar are not doing well. So I'm going to put some of this in the blender. Please, please do not come for me. I am really doing my best. And I want to do a good job. I feel like I set my own self up to fail. So I'm going to put some, I just put like this much in. So I have so much. I have so much and nothing to eat it with. All right, I'm going to put it on low. I wish I just used my my food processor, but hold on. Hold on. Very garlicky. Oh, okay. It's not going crazy. Looks like it's doing pretty good. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is a side-by-side comparison of the difference between how good I did with oh, gotcha. So this is how smooth I was able to get it in my blender. Look at that. And I see the texture. I got you. And this is how smooth I got it with my pestle and mortar. But there is no comparison. Pestle and mortar. So for the sake of this, I am going to, and it's not so, the flavors mixed better. So it's not nearly as strong with garlic as the way I have it. Now the challenge that's going to come about is how do I get all of this out of here? Because it is very sticky, which is why I understand why they, like, I am coming to terms with why all of these things came to be. We don't know if they had blenders back then. We think we do. We don't. We think we do. You think, but somebody was like, nah, if we make this mofongo in a blender, we're not going to get all of it. It's just going to be in the blender forever. So I'm still trying to figure out, this is definitely closer to the texture of what I feel like fufu is. It's stickier. The starches have been more distributed. It's got a milder flavor. So it's like the pockets of garlic and whatever else. And it's really not that salty. And I didn't really use that much salt anyway. It's like, I don't even think I used a full teaspoon of salt. And somehow it still tastes really amazing. So I'm going to get as much of this out. This is not the right spoon for this particular mission, but we vibe. All right, so I'm going to continue to do this put this in here. And I'm going to do our final plate. I'm going to put it in a mound. I don't have anything to crackle in it with. Maybe I will. Do I feel like I'm going to do this? Do I feel like I'm going? Whew, that's a lot of garlic. Whew, I'm healed. Can I make my stewed hearts of palm? Is that something that I'm going to do? Let me see. I told you I'm in a crabby place today. That's all right. We all have crabby places, and in my big age, I allow myself to feel all the things that I feel whenever I feel them, regardless of how convenient those feelings are. You're welcome here. You can be here. You can be agitated and come on and do Sunday dinner with me. Agitation, it's fine. You can be mad at somebody. Come on. Which is a different energy than what I used to do just growing up as a performer, where you stuffed how you, I'm going to speak for myself, where I had to, or felt I had to stuff how I felt down to get through the show, because the show must go on and all of that nonsense. I switched it up. All right, I'm going to try this again with the rest of this. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to do this. I don't know. Nope, there is not a recipe that I saw said use a blender, but here I am. It's really good. It's really good. It really does give bread. Don't want to mess up my blender. Yeah, it smells like it's. This is why you don't use a blender. I'm learning so much today. All right, so it's not going to be the same as this other one, but I can smell it getting like the blender going. This is not my ministry. What are you doing, lady? And I'd like to be able to use my blender for other things. So this one is not as creamy as the other one. I mean, it is. This looks good. Look, right. It's got that texture. Okay, I'm down. I'm down for it. All right, what do I make this with? I got some jalapeno olives. I got some hearts of palm. So I was gonna make this stewed hearts of palm. Medium saucepan, vegetable. My sofrito is not ready. All right, I'm gonna put on some Bad Bunny real quick, and then I'm gonna come back and make this sauce. I'll be right back. None of this is helping. I thought I was going to. I don't want to play a bunch of commercials. That's not what I'm here for. Okay, I got you. This is great. This texture is very, yes. This texture is amazing. what I would really love for this is to have another, like a food cam, like a counter cam, so you can see what's going on the counter, while also see what's going on with me. What I really like is to have somebody in studio with me playing with the camera angles so that this is more interesting. But you just have to deal with my face and use your imagination, I guess. I said this before. Whenever you start something new, child, it is awful. I appreciate other people. This is not a cooking show, by the way. That's not what this is. So I appreciate all the folks that were like, "Oh, Envy, I feel so sorry for you," and are here watching me destroy this traditional Puerto Rican dish. Though I'm not sure if I destroyed it. I think if I had ever had it and known what it was supposed to taste like, minus the pork cracklings, maybe I could say I destroyed it. It feels to me like I'm on some nailed it episode, but it's probably not as bad as I think it is. Or it's worse. It's one or the other. It's either not as bad or it's worse. Somebody somewhere is like, how dare she? Or somebody's like, wow, it started out rocky. Somehow you got to the end and it was cool. On the Great American Bake Off or some such. All right, so maybe it is supposed to be stodgy because it's so this is the consistency I have. Hold on. It's very sticky. And then what you wet your hands, or you put oil in your hands or some such. And shout out to ginger beer. From Aldi. Okay, so I need to rinse out this pot if I'm going to use these hearts of palm. I do not have a plan. 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 So this is where it's going to get interesting. This is where it's going to get interesting. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add a little oil to this pot. I'm going to chop up this onion. This is where we gonna vibe. I do not have a plan. I know that in order to eat this in any reasonable way, I'm going to have to make some sort of soup, stew, some such. And so I want to give this some justice somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I am going to chop up this onion. Boom, boom, boom. I am going to add some of this oil in here. Blot out, go on in there, boo. Going to let the onions cook in this oil for a little minute. I have these green bell peppers that I was going to use for the sofrito, but I'm not making sofrito. So what my dad used to call cowboy cooking, which is essentially you just look and see what ingredients you have and you put something together with the ingredients you have, not necessarily with the recipe you just vibe. That's what I'm about to do. I don't know why I didn't, because I know they have like the vegetables pre-cut for sofrito, but so I will let the I have garlic. Let's do that. I'm just going to use the one. I have some. I'm going to chop these bell peppers up. And my question is, does sofrito have olives in it? Or no, this is for the stew that has olives in it. I'm going to cut this up. Put this in here. I'm going to get this garlic popping and put that in there. Keep your eyes on the prize, oh Lord. Keep your eyes on the prize, oh Lord. Keep your eyes on the prize, oh Lord. All right, so I'm gonna add this garlic in here. It's not really that minced, but it'll do. I feel like there's so much garlic in this food. Ooh. Luckily for me, it's only Picard, my cat, who has to worry about garlic breath. So hearts of palm is exactly what it sounds like. It's hearts of, I guess the palm tree. Yeah, palm tree. I don't want to give you wrong information. I'm not Googling right this second. Somebody Google for me. Hearts of palm is exactly what it sounds like. Hearts of palm. I've had it before, and I feel like I know what it is because I have researched it before, because I wouldn't just eat something I didn't know. But right now, today, I told you I'm in a funky mood. I am in a funk. Well, anyway, it smells like crab. It really does. And I have made crab cakes with it. I have made like you know what I mean. It's not quite crab cakes. And if you look, see the texture gives you, and the smell too. It smells like crab cake. I don't know why, but it does. So I'm going to have some cilantro. Where's mine? I have all the things that I need. But I'm going to cook that down. I have some cilantro. I got some adobo, because that was supposed to go in the sofrito. We're going to put some of these peppers in there too. I do have some tomato paste. I feel like if I had practiced this recipe, I would have known what the dealio was, but I don't. And I'm not sure how much of this is Puerto Rican and how much, because the recipe that I got this from is from a Puerto Rican vegan. So in my mind, it was legit. Who's to say? Oh, this is something that I wanted to say earlier, that I saw. That's not good. I saw a version of this that I'm not entirely sure where it was from. I'm not sure if it was like a Peruvian version or something. Maybe it was Peruvian, but it certainly was not Puerto Rican. of mofongo that had quinoa in it, and there was a part of me that was like, I like quinoa, but does it go in this? And then once I did some more research on how there are lots of places that use that make a version of mofongo, and I'm clear that quinoa comes from Peru. If it was a Peruvian version, okay, maybe that is. Now, if somebody from Peru goes, no, ma'am. If somebody from Peru comes on here and says, that is not us, we do not, under any circumstances, put quinoa in our iteration of mofongo. That is something else that we don't do. It's like that is like somebody putting raisins in potato salad. We don't do that. Then I know that somebody, and you know what I mean by somebody, I know that somebody is playing around in our faces. So this other recipe that I'm using, she was doing like soy curls. She called it stewed chicken soy curls. I don't have soy curls. I wasn't looking for soy curls. I was not going to order soy curls to make this. So that's why I got the crab. I also, not crab, you know what I mean, the hearts of palm, because you can get that in the supermarket. I also recognize that from doing my research on the history of the dish, some of which I have already read. There are all different variations from the pork. They do seafood versions. They do like a shrimp. They basically use whatever they have. That's what these dishes are from. Like the whole reason that this dish exists because they used what they had. Enslaved people from Africa worked with the Taino Indians that were already in Puerto Rico. That all of these people kind of put their skills together, and this is where mofongo came from. It's a West African dish that evolved with the ingredients that were available on the island and in these Caribbean places. It's not just Puerto Rico, and I think on Wednesday we were talking about how one of my friends told me that the Dominicans and Puerto Ricans kind of have a battle about whose mofongo is the best. I don't know if that's true. I don't want to start no mess if no mess exists. So in my research I didn't find any battles because I thought it was kind of like jollof, and I think in my mind I thought mofongo was kind of like jollof. I felt like it was not rice, but I felt like it was, I don't know. In my mind, I felt like it was like jollof. And I'm still not clear how I thought that. But because I've never had it before, I don't know what I'm talking about. But, now that I'm learning. So now I'm putting the peppers in here. I put I'm using tomato paste instead of like tomato sauce. Tomato paste has a pure flavor, and I feel like there's no extra seasonings, anything like that. So, and I have I got the John. Now, I usually do not use this brand of anything, but this is what I had available because we don't F with them. But it says saison, so I got some saison. Also, what is in this? Because when I look at the ingredients, I don't know what these ingredients are. Just on the back of it, it says, inside this package, you'll find what good cooks have always dreamed of. A special mix of seasonings that adds exquisite flavor and beautiful color to every dish. Use it for meats, sauces, stews, salads, soups, poultry, pasta, rice, beans, and vegetables. For every 4 people your recipe serves, add 1 packet. Child, they speak in terms of how many people are you feeding. That is community. I love that. That is community. This is serving 1 person. I'm putting the whole packet in here. I hope it won't kill anybody. Namely me. All right, so I added the seasoning packet. I'm about to add some water to this situation. I'm supposed to be using vegetable broth, but I'm gonna add some of my bouillon in there. My vegan bouillon. All right, we got vegan bouillon. Yes, honey. This stuff has a pretty color. Okay. Do I have? Yes, I do. This stuff right here. This stuff right here. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. This is amazing. So I'm not going to use that much. I'm just going to use like that. A little bit left. Should have re-upped. Some of this I really do want to blend, though. Like, I understand why. Well, I guess once it's cooked, I can blend it if I want to. But do I want to? Okay. Olives. Once this face off, blah, blah, blah. Vegetable, blah, blah, blah. Bring to a boil. And leave them covered for at least 10 minutes. Then add the... Let me see what the flavor is like. Wow. Wow. Okay. 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 That's cute. I think I need to add a little. Yikes. Ugh. I'm spilling things in my own house. It's fine. That was my soda. My ginger beer. So I'm going to add a little bit more water. Okay. And I'm going to sop up this mess that I have made on my floor. That was a good ginger beer too, man. I'm learning how to make my own wild soda. You're going, of course you are, Envy. I am. But until then, I'm collecting ginger beer bottles I could use for that. Mm-hmm. This is very good. Oh my God, this is going to be delicious. It's going to be like crab. Like crab stew. I'm going to turn this up. I feel like it's going too slow. It's like, yes, this is like crab stew. It's reminding me of clam chowder, but not the creamy one. Is it New York clam chowder? Because the creamy clam chowder is like Boston, New England. There we go. This is reminding me of, is it Maryland crab chowder? Anyway, it's reminding me of a crab soup. And then you got these olives in there. Where do the olives come in? Add the olives. I do not believe that I am going to blend this at all. I'm just going to let it vibe the way it is. I do wish that I had cut this pepper a little better, but I still can. I'm fishing out peppers so I can cut them smaller. I believe, like, if I cooked it long enough, it would just dissolve, but for the sake of this, I don't even know what our time is anymore. Okay, so that's in there. I want you to see what it looks like. This looks so good. You see it? So that is peppers and onions and garlic. It's got olives in it. It's got the sazon seasoning. It's got some it's got some stuff. And so this is going to be the accompaniment to my mofongo. There's a mofongo. Maybe I should have put it in a ball already. So I'm making like a crab stew. Oh, this is nice and pliable. Maybe I really did make fufu. They made. I want to look and see what they made. I feel like they made like a mound, and then they put the soup on top of it. So maybe this is going to bowl. Maybe that's better. Every time I do these things, my kitchen. Oh, my battery's running low. Every time I do these things, my kitchen looks like somebody was in here being crazy. And that somebody is me. I have no one to blame but myself. So we got this boiling. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I want it to slow boil. I do want to taste it. This color is fabulous. It's very well seasoned. Glad this recipe in here said put the sazon in there, but then also add salt. It does not need it. It is very well seasoned, and I didn't even need to put anything else. I'm gonna let this vibe. Let me see if there are any. Hey, hi Darnell, hi Bernard. What time is it? Is it okay? I feel like we are we got 15 more minutes for this journey ends. It started out rocky in my mind because I am having a crabby day. But what did we learn, class, in tonight's episode of Sunday Dinner, aka Home Ec? We learned that you can have a crabby day and still show up honest and kind. You don't have to be all sunshine and roses to show up authentic, honest, and kind. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to. That is a choice. You can be having a bad day and not be an a-hole. I'm going to say it comes with practice, but I'm not even clear that's the case. It comes with intention. So I'm going to let this little stew situation cook a little more. I want it to be thicker. I really do. But I don't know if I set it up for that because it's not. And we've learned, we have some more things that we can learn about mofongo. We talked about the etymology. We talked about the origin and history. We talked about the culture. Let's talk about food trucks. Around Puerto Rico, Florida, New York, and other parts of the U.S. serve mofongo. A popular version in Puerto Rico is papas locas, crazy fries. Mofongo is placed flat in a takeaway container layered with French fries or yam fries, shredded meat or meats, chopped onions, avocado, tomato, cilantro, lettuces, corn, melted cheese, and mayo ketchup. They call that fry sauce. That's interesting. You put mofongo on the bottom? Okay. Method. The name mofongo refers to cooked plantains mashed with fat, olive oil, lard, or butter, spices, and pork in a wooden mortar and pestle called is it paillon or paillon? Paillon, made with mahogany, or it's Guaiacum, guaiacum, both native hardwoods, and shaped more or less into a ball and in or alongside broth. Oh, okay. Shaped into a ball and in or alongside broth. Listen. The ancestors, yes, come through. The mofongo is then available to absorb. There you go. Any juice or broth from the seared meat that is placed on top or inside of the dish. The consistency of mofongo is much more dense and stiff than fufu. I think I might have got it, y'all. Variations. It is also common in Puerto Rico to make mofongo with cassava, mofongo de yuca, breadfruit, mofongo de pana, and ripe plantain mofongo de amarillo. The bafongo is any combination of two starches fried and mashed together. Ripe and green plantains together is the most popular choice. The trifongo is any combination of three starches fried and mashed together. The most popular is cassava with green and ripe plantain, but batata and breadfruit may be used. I don't know what batata is. Mofongo stuffed with shrimp, camarón in Spanish is called camaro fongo. Thanksgiving is an American holiday that has been adopted by Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans outside the Commonwealth. Turkey is the main focus on every Thanksgiving table and is traditionally stuffed with bread. The bread stuffing can be mixed with mofongo or replaced entirely with mofongo. The dish is called babochan. Frito-Lay produces mofongo snacks combining plantain chips, cassava chips, and pork rinds. No, thank you. I mean, let me not yuck your yum. Mofongo Relleno. Mofongo relleno is a stuffed variation of mofongo, which, according to Yvonne Ortiz, first made in Tino's restaurant on the west coast of Puerto Rico when seafood abundant in the region was placed inside the plantain ball with braised meat or more seafood poured over it. Today, mofongo relleno is commonly stuffed with other seafood poultry. No, I don't think my mofongo is quite stuffable, because this look like that's really super stiff to be able to hold stuff. Mofongo are bite-sized mofonguito are bite-sized mofongo, usually served as an appetizer, not to be confused with Dominican mofonguito, which are tostones relleno. Mocha, Dominican Republic, is known for making mofongo with cheddar cheese shredded on top. It's been called mofongo dominicano and mofongo el mocano. Outside of Puerto Rico, Dominicans who feared the dictatorship of Rafael Trujillo fled to Puerto Rico. I said that. Dominicans who feared the dictatorship of Trujillo fled to Puerto Rico and New York City. Fried mofongo caught on quickly with Dominicans living in Puerto Rico and New York City. After Trujillo's death, many Dominicans returned to the Dominican Republic, bringing the recipe for mofongo, which has remained popular ever since. The first Dominican cookbook with a recipe for mofongo is Cochina Criolla, second edition by Amanda Arnes in 1962. The recipe is called mofongo, using roasted, that sounds delicious, roasted green plantains mashed with just, what is that? Chicharron and oil. Ramona Hernandez, director of the Dominican Studies Institute in the City University of New York, said mofongo is a dish borrowed from Puerto Rico that has had much success with Dominicans. Dominican chef Clara Gonzalez, also known as Aunt Clara, says in our cookbook, mofongo has a special place in Dominicans' hearts and stomachs that can be traced back to Puerto Rico. Some food scholars claim roasted mofongo was brought over to the Dominican Republic during Dominican Republic's sugar industry from 1916 to 1924, where Puerto Ricans migrated to work. Mofongo has become popular among Colombians, Cubans, and Dominicans living in the United States, and anywhere a large number of Puerto Ricans or Dominicans reside. So it feels to me from this part of this discussion that there really is no battle. Mofongo was started in Puerto Rico by the Africans, the enslaved Africans, the Taino, and the Spanish people that were there, in Boricua, and it's Puerto Rico's, and everywhere else is just a variation, and I respect that. I'm glad that we continued on with this journey to learn. That is really good. I think it's been cooking. I'm gonna add my hearts of palm, and did I move it? So just so you know, like I said, we don't use this brand. Don't look at the brand. This is hearts of palm. That's what they look like. I guess I could have showed you that earlier, but whatever. So I used all of them, and I'm gonna put this in here. And I'm gonna let this cook down. I made a crab version, honey, like a vegan crab version of this, whatever this stew is. That's gonna go over my mofongo. I'm really excited, and this is cowboy cooking at its best. I wasn't gonna make it because I was like, I'm tired, and this is making me mad, and I didn't do it right, and all the things. But I think it's okay. I'm going to, like, this is the texture of this, and it might be the texture is this way because of the I used a food process, not food, I used a blender, and then I stopped midway because I felt like the blender wasn't going to do it. I don't want to mess up my blender. And for those of you just tuning in, this is what I started with. Hold you. This is what I started with. I tried to use my spice mortar and pestle to make this much. So just to keep the flow of this going, I used my blender just so that we could get it done. I don't think this is the right texture, but I think I got close. I think this texture is thicker than fufu. Is it thick enough to stuff things with? No, but it's definitely, I can make a bowl with it. They said it's usually a mound, but I'm going to make like a little bowl so that my broth and soup that I just made, mofongo is essentially Puerto Rican fufu. I just love this. I just love it. So I made like a little bowl. I know that's not what you're supposed to do, but since I've been vibing with this, I'm just going to keep vibing. And so right now I'm cooking down the hearts of palm. Just cooking it down. The hearts of palm gives it it's going to give it a crab situation. Ooh, look at that. You're a little misty. So I'm gonna just let this cook down for just a few minutes, because I want it to look like it's crab. And so the little strings, like crab has like the little strings when you make it in soup. This looks really good. Like for something that I had not planned to do, I'm really proud of myself. Just to show you I can cook, honey. You're not gonna cook under pressure. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna let this cook just a little bit more. I think we've learned everything we can learn about mofongo. If you're just tuning in, you're gonna have to catch the replay and find out the history of it. I think I went through all of it. I'm not doing that again. And this is boiling. Yeah, I think we're good. I'm going to plate this. It could stand to cook a little bit more, but the soup is cooked. I just want to be able to taste it before we get off the live stream. Where did I put my big spoon? So I am going to I essentially put the mofongo. I made kind of like a bowl, and then I covered it with, let me see if I can do this. I covered it with you see, with the broth. You see it? Hopefully you can see it. I don't know if you can. So that's what it looks like. If you can see it, great. If not, I'll take a picture of it. And so now I am going to try it. You were turned off. I'm going to try it. So I got my version of mofongo and my hearts of palm, aka it gives you crab stew. Wait. Bless this food and the hands that prepared it. And bless the hands that made it possible for these hands to prepare it. All the way back to the very first hands. So it is. Amen. All right, ready?